Hey there, girl.
Hey, how's it going?
I am wonderful. We are live. We got 1 minute before we actually start, but hey, we're here. I'm excited about this.
Same, I love it. I'm just trying to figure out my setup here. I think I'll go a little lower. Oh, and Jill's here. Hey,
Hello,
Jill.
hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Real Life, Real Growth. Wendy, it's so exciting today. Today's our first episode, and I know we're really excited. I want to tell everybody that we're going to be coming back here every Tuesday at noon. It's going to be live here on Instagram. We'll take these videos, post them on Facebook and YouTube and all of the other platforms that we have. But I'm going to start out by introducing myself, if that's okay, Wendy. So my name is Ruth Rivera. For those of you who don't know me, I'm known as your fearless real estate coach. I'm a broker. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I am a sister. I have a mother-in-law who lives with me, who's up in age. So trust me, I go through a lot of real life experiences. So I really know how to juggle real life while running my business. Most of my work happens here at home. And that means that, I have a lot of distractions that are happening for me every single day. But part of my day is, going through real life struggles, real life growth, real life benefits. I've been in the real estate industry since 1992. I know what it is, how to hustle and grind to put your feet out there and work with buyers. I've worked with sellers. I've worked with investors. I've done both residential and commercial real estate. I'm also very much involved with my real estate industry. I am a past president of NARUP, which is the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals here in North Orlando. I belong to several committees in my local board association, which is the Orlando Regional Realtor Association, and I'm on the board of directors for Florida Realtors. So I'm really, really involved with everything that has to do with real estate. I volunteer, I advocate for sustainable home ownership. So that's all about me. That's my life in a little round circle. So tell us about you, Wendy.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's super impressive, Ruth. And, I'm really excited that we're going to both bring our extensive backgrounds to our podcast on Instagram here. But also, I want to grow beyond all of that with you. I feel like when you've done something long enough, you can get a little stale. And just like you, I've been in real estate forever, started as an agent, found that it was definitely my calling as a career. I launched franchise offices. I turned around franchise offices. And you and I both work now with agents who are very involved with internet leads. And we talk to them all the time about their social media presence. And we're both active on social, but we need to walk the walk, not just talk the talk. So I'm so glad we're going to tackle this together, learn together. And my piece of this that I'm really excited about is we're going to try some things out. Tips, tricks that we either already know and aren't using, or that we learn and we want to put into practice that we know will help entrepreneurs, business owners, people who are juggling real life just like us. We're going to talk about all that stuff. And, hey, having a little lunchtime yap once a week, that's not a bad thing either. When you work from home, it can be a little isolating. So it's so good to just have this chance to just talk freely.
Yeah, and what I love about it is that we're going to talk about real life, right? Sometimes, as real estate coaches and leaders within our industry, we hold our agents and our people accountable for things that we think are very beneficial for them to do in their day-to-day business, but we're not out there with them, and we're not facing the struggles that they're facing. And that's the whole reason why real life, real growth exists now, right? So we can talk
Yes.
about those real life struggles and grow from that. And I'm really excited about it. We're going to have different segments on this. And you want to talk about a little bit of the segments that we're going to have during these sessions?
Yeah, so the first one, we're not going to get into it extensively today, but I want to give everybody a sneak peek. We're both big readers. So you can see we both have our full bookshelves behind us. We love to read, and not just for, pleasure, whatever the greatest and latest Christmas, romance is. We really like the self-improvement genre, the personal development genre, Atomic Habits being one of our favorites. And that struck both of us to the point where we both made big changes after reading Atomic Habits. Let's just share with everyone about those first, and then definitely get into our different other segments that we're planning.
Yeah, so Atomic Habits, I will tell you, I read that book once and I thought it was impactful. It helped me a lot with, my role as a leader within the organization that we're in. And it was powerful. But then probably a few years after that, we started a book club and decided to read that book again. And there was one part of that book that really impacted me the second time around that didn't really resonate the first time I read it. And I had been struggling with wanting to lose weight for a long time. And the book had a section where it says, and this is the book Atomic Habits, and the book said that you should make improvements 1% at a time, little baby steps. And when I read that, after struggling for a while, saying, and I've been on so many diets, I've been on so many different situations, and yeah, I've lost weight. Yeah, I started eating better. But in reality, I never really thought about that 1% chance, with that 1% change that was going to make that major difference. And when I read that part, it sort of just like clicked. And I'm like, okay, this is what I need to do. Instead of making these drastic changes and going into these crazy diets, maybe I just take my coffee instead of having three spoonfuls of sugar in my coffee. Now I do 2 spoonfuls, right? That 1% change. And then that's how I started doing that, making that 1% change. And those of you who know me know I've lost 82 pounds. That's a lot of weight. That's almost another person. And this book not only resonated with me as a industry leader, however, it impacted my life where I said, you know what, this is what I needed to hear to really make that change. And it took me a long time to lose weight, but I did lose the weight. And it was all because of that book that I read. And I know it's made some changes for you as well. Wendy, you want to share your story on it?
Yeah, Atomic Habits was fantastic, and it did really double down on some things that I had already really grabbed onto and loved from my favorite book. I think I have it here. Let me look. Um, it's called Better Than Before. No, sorry, The Happiness Project. Better Than Before is the other one. So, Atomic Habits, those 1% changes. Happiness Project, it was a project where the author took 1 month at a time and tried something that she thought, for that full month, tried it that she thought would improve her life, and just, did it very open-mindedly. Like, if it did, it did. If it didn't, it didn't, and took away whatever the lessons were. And so I really just grab onto that style of learning and trying. And I love that we're going to do that here. Like we did in the book club with Atomic Habits. And I've been on my own weight loss journey. I haven't lost as much as you. It's up to about 40 pounds now.
It's
And
phenomenal.
yeah, and one of the things that's helped me a lot, I mean, you talked about changing your diet, definitely have done that. And I've gone what I'll call like sober-ish. I'll still have a drink here and there, but I really, there was just too much drinking going on through the pandemic. So it's not anything except like on a special occasion or at book club. So, and those calories, it's a lot of calories, and it makes a huge difference. And you'll probably notice, like, my hair's not done for today. It's washed, it's put back in a ponytail, and that's because real life, I won't fit in the exercise that I want to do in the day if I'm taking an hour to get ready. So there's definitely days where it'll just get, put back in a ponytail, and you got to just call it a day. And that's what's so interesting about Instagram. We're so used to, at work, we're able to put on a filter, put a background behind us. I haven't figured that stuff out yet on Instagram. So you guys are getting the real us here.
No, that's the best part, the real us. Yeah. And I love that. And I'm going to use a reference, for example, on that 1% and going back to the atomic habits.
Yeah.
People go to the gym. You don't build muscle just because you went to the gym one time, right? That takes a routine for you to go there and be consistent with it. And once you're consistent with it, then eventually you're going to build that muscle. That's the same with you and me. And I started walking. I walk every morning. I love walking in the morning. My sister comes and walks with me in the morning. And I created that routine where I do that. So your life, your business, whatever role you're doing, you have to be disciplined, right? And that's what this atomic habits teaches us, is that discipline that you have to incorporate into your life, into your business. And most of the people that we work with, Wendy, are independent contractors. So they don't have a 9 to 5 job. They don't have a boss telling them, hey, you have to do this, this, and this. So they have to create those habits, create that discipline, be consistent with it. And over time, which is not going to be overnight, right? Over time, then you're going to have that real growth and whatever you're focused on.
Yeah, I agree. And same with work from home. We do not have our boss looking over our shoulder. It is on us to put our head down and get our work done. And, that's being someone who likes to achieve. That's something that does get done. But the longer we do it, the tougher it gets. So we've got to breathe some new life into it. One of the things I'm excited about with this is we're going to give ourselves little challenges each week and then report back on what we did. And so that'll be part of our weeks. Stick with us, see how it goes, and keep us accountable, anybody who's watching. And I'm hoping our audience will grow, but I'm super grateful. Looks like we've got about 9 people in the room here with us, which that's a great crowd, honestly.
Love it.
Yeah, type in the chat. I see that we have Julia's on her line. Let's test that out. Did you hear I had a call coming in?
I heard an interruption.
Okay. All right. So I did not take my fearless co-host's advice. I forgot to shut off a couple of my notifications.
That's real life, right?
That is real life. Yeah. So thank you. And Jill's here, and I'm not sure who the other, looks like maybe Jackie. I wonder who Realty 411 is. That might be Jackie. I'm not sure. But anyway, we've got 9 people in the room. And if you want to type in the chat, introduce yourself. We would love to hear from you. We would really love to build a nice community here every Tuesday, 12 noon Eastern time. We may vary here and there, like the week of Thanksgiving, we have to talk about it, but I think that's Ruth's birthday week. So we might do it on a different day that week, who knows? And same with, Thanksgiving, Christmas, we'll work around the different holidays. But other than that, guys, you're going to find us here with our real life and looking to really grow. I wrote down, just to be ready for this episode, you attract what you focus on. So we're going to be focusing on some things, and we're looking to attract just better habits into our lives through small steps, building towards them. So
one of the things I'm going to do for a homework, and I wrote down a bunch of notes as well, is I'm going to try to start eating better. And I don't know about the rest of you who are on here, but I bought candy for Halloween, and I've been trick-or-treating in my pantry for the last probably 2 weeks. So that's one of the things that I want to challenge myself to do, is start eating better again. I know the holidays are coming, and when the holidays come, I'm from Puerto Rico, so I love food during the holidays. There's a lot of great food that we eat during these holidays. But if I want to do that, I want to make sure that I am not positioning myself where I'm growing my body where I don't want to grow my body in the wrong places, right? Plus, I want to stay healthy. So my homework, and I wrote this down, is I'm going to try to start eating better. I'm going to um, hold myself accountable to that. I'm going to start not going to my pantry at night to look at the candy. Hopefully, I get rid of all of that during Halloween and don't eat anything. So that's going to be my homework when it comes to my personal life.
Okay, can
In
I
work,
jump in? Can I
yeah,
jump in? All
yeah.
right, so I'm not a nutrition coach, but I play one on Instagram. And let me just jump in. So let's definitely hold each other's feet to the fire here. Would you consider using the tool of doing a food diary for the week between now and when we get together again next week?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay,
Anything
all
that's going
right.
to help me, hold me accountable and make it easier, right? Because life gets in the way. There's so many things going on in our lives. So if you can use any type of resource to be more effective and efficient with it, I am a strong believer in that. So absolutely.
So I'm going to send you, and I will post it in our comments maybe. I'll send you a link. There's an app. My brother-in-law introduced, my son-in-law, I should say, introduced me to it. You can actually take a picture of your plate, and AI scans your plate and will log your food for you. And sometimes you have to make some corrections, but it's pretty accurate. So it's an app. I'll get you the name of it and the link, and it'll make it easy for you to keep that food diary if you decide to go that route.
I will definitely,
Okay,
definitely. Now, I do want to
awesome.
challenge myself as well on a
Yes,
professional level, right?
yes.
That's what I want to do in my personal life, but as a professional level, and I wrote this down, is I do want to hold myself to be a little bit more proactive instead of reactive.
Mm,
On my role, plus, I do my fearless coaching and all of that. I do videos. So follow me on YouTube, The Fearless Coach. But I want to be a little bit more proactive than reactive. And what I mean by that, it's just, I do try to pre-plan my week. I'm very good with time blocking and pre-planning my week, but some of the little things I'm reactive to it instead of being proactive with it. And
yes.
those little things are the ones that make a major difference in your day to day. And I'm going to try to hold myself a little bit more accountable of being a little bit more proactive with the little stuff. The stuff that I pre-plan already on my calendar, they're already time blocked. That's easy to do. But there's so many little things. And I know most of you that are watching and listening to this right now understand that, maybe it's going on to Facebook, maybe it's going on to Instagram. Those little things, I should be blocking out the time for those little things as well, instead of being reactive to it, just sitting here and saying, oh, I'm taking a break and I'm going to go on to Facebook, or I'm going to go on to Instagram, or I'm going to go on to YouTube. That should be also in my calendar, so it's not interrupting doing the things that are most important in my role. So those are the two things that I'm going to challenge myself to do.
All right. So I'm here for you. I'm sure those who are listening are here for you to support you. I'm curious. So when we get to next week and we're reporting back, how are you going to know you were successful with that work challenge that you're doing?
So I challenge agents when I'm coaching them to figure out what they're doing on their day to day, to see whether or not they're focusing on their business. And what I do with this is I tell them, from the moment you wake up in the morning to the moment you go to bed, keep a piece of paper with you or use an app, whatever you want, right? I like the paper. I'm old school. Keep a piece of paper with you and write down every minute of the day the stuff that you're doing. And at the end of the week, because you don't want to do this at the end of the day, but at the end of the week, you're spending more time being unproductive, then you have to make a change, right? So for me, I'm going to start writing down everything that I'm doing for that week, for this coming week, to see whether or not those little things, because they haven't been time blocked, right, are disrupting the important tasks that I have to do. So I'm going to write it down. I'm going to carry a piece of paper with me. Old school, you can use whatever you guys want. If you want to challenge yourself as well. I have a little book as well that I see you just take a book. I have a book that I'm going to be writing that down. And at the end of the week, if I have too many disruptions, I know that I'm going to have to start adjusting and start changing that, because those unproductive things don't make me effective, don't make me efficient. And maybe I should be compounding them into those time blocks that I need to do. Maybe blocking out an hour, 15 minutes for social media, 15 minutes for this, 15 minutes for that, then compounding that time into a time block.
I love that. So we'll have similar challenges to one another. So my one that's going to be a little different is I want to, aside of my regular routine that I do in terms of workout, walk, lift some weights, I want to make sure that every day, no matter what, I'm getting a 20-minute walk in. So even if I did my workout, I'm still going to walk an additional 20. If I do nothing else, I'm definitely going to walk 20 minutes no matter what every day between now and when we meet up again next week. So that's one of mine. And then I had time management in my mind too. And I have a planner that does take you hour by hour in your day and your week. So, and I have it on my calendar. I think I've told you this before, Ruth. I have it on my calendar, 8 a.m. every day, to use my Legend planner. And I have a lot of blank pages in it. It is not good. I need to get back to the habit, because I know I'm so much more productive when I'm seeing the pockets of time that are available to me that I really am not making the most of. Maybe I'm feeling tired and worn out, and it's because, yeah, I did spend way too much time binging on Netflix instead of exercising, meal planning, getting ready for the day or the week. So I'm going to put my handy dandy Legend planner back to work. And so I think this will be good. And then we also talked about kind of like, you know, when you were a kid and your parent would ask you, okay, what was the peak of your day or the peak of your week? And what was the pit of your week? You and I, we're going to call it the gold and the garbage, right? And we'll share back with everyone from our week, you know, what was really gold and we thought went really well and helped us, and then what was garbage, what we're going to throw in the trash for sure. So I'm excited about that.
So I'm going to tell you that my gold and my garbage for today, and
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to use a past experience, right?
Okay.
For today, my gold is I created I have a YouTube channel, you know that, Ruth Rivera, Fearless Real Estate Agent, and it has been a week since I posted a video on YouTube, and I'm preaching to be consistent, right? But real life has gotten in the way, and I had not created a video. So I did create my video today. I did post it on my channel. I did create a post and I put it on there. So that was my gold for today. My garbage for which is the past situation. I need to write down everything in my calendar, going back to the time blocking. And I'm going to use an experience that I had with an agent and a customer. And I had a customer who reached out to me and they wanted to list their home. And because I'm so focused on helping agents grow, I would not give the service to a customer that I would if I was out there 24 hours, right? If I was putting my feet on the pavement. So I gave this customer to an agent of mine, and I said, hey, you know, I trust you. I know you're a great agent, and you know, would you connect with this client for life for me, right? Because they're not past customers. I hate the word past customers. Would you connect with this client for life for me and see if you can list their home or give them a market analysis? He did. He connected with them, and then he sent me a calendar invite to go to the listing presentation. It was on a Saturday. Normally Saturdays now, because I'm not an agent out there, I am doing other things.
Of
So I
course.
didn't put it in my calendar. And then Saturday came and he sent me a text, the agent, and said, I'm on my way. And oh my God, I was still in my pajamas.
Oh
And
no.
that's my garbage, right?
Yeah.
You really need to stay focused. And you can't preach what you don't do. That's a
I
reality.
agree.
So, you know, when you say that you're going to do something, you have to really take that action. And I know that it's not always easy, but courage is something that you have to implement, right? You have to be fearless. And I know being fearless is not the easiest thing in the world, right? However, courage is contagious. Connect with people who are fearless, who are courageous enough to go out and do the activities in whatever industry that you're in, right? Doesn't have to be real estate. It can be something about your own life. Get out of your comfort zone, connect with people who are courageous, that you're going to take that in and implement it in your life as well. So that's what I wanted to share on the gold and the garbage.
I love that. And I hope that, by us walking the walk, there's people out there. We're probably going to have a lot of women viewers. We're women. That's, you attract what you focus on. But I hope that viewers out there will think about doing exactly what we are doing, jumping on, having a conversation about what they're passionate about, and sharing with the world if it's, something that they think would benefit others, which is kind of how we got this going. And so I'll say my goal is that we just jumped in and did this. I mean, this is like feet first. We just said, let's do it, and we did it. Not a lot of thought, not a lot of, let's figure this out. Because you can overthink things and then talk yourself out of things. And sometimes you have to just do it. And I think it's gold that we just did it. And then my garbage, and I'll throw this out for next week, is I left my stupid notifications on, even though Ruth told me ahead of time, don't do that. So that won't happen again.
Wow, well, real life, real growth, right? We can
100%.
grow if we don't have less than perfect situations. You know, I hate the word failure. There's no such thing as failure. You have less than perfect situations. And if you learn from those less than perfect situations, you're going to grow, whether it's whatever industry that you're in, whatever job that you're in your life, whatever it is. Learn from them. Go back and analyze that, and then you're going to grow.
I love it. So we said we were going to go 20 to 30 minutes every Tuesday. So we're perfectly on time here. And I put in my bio one of those like link in bio kind of things. So when we talk about stuff, we'll definitely, put it in the links in our bio so that you can find Ruth's YouTube channel. I am going to spark up my inevitable Substack. I'm a blogger at heart, so I'm going to get that going again. And we really hope you'll come on this journey with us. And we're thrilled that everyone was here. Come back next week.
And I have a challenge. We practiced on Sunday to make sure that we knew how to turn this on, because this is the first time that we're doing these live. I could not turn it off. So that's my challenge today, right? Once we're done, I have to see if I can really end this, if the end button shows up. And I know it is, because I got a new update on my phone and the end button doesn't really show. But if you see this video again and you see that it extended and me trying to press something, is because I was trying to press the end button.
Too funny. Yeah, we'll figure this all out. And this is the kind of stuff that keeps, the agents that we work with, any entrepreneur, business owner, hiccups like that, it can keep you from even trying because it feels like so much to figure out. So I'm really glad we're figuring it out. So that we can be role models. And it's a little daunting to be a role model. So, be kind, everyone out there. we're trying here, but I think we're going to have a lot of fun along the way. And I'm so glad that our first episode is in the books.
Yeah, that was wonderful. And I do want to say, if you are watching this and you are a business owner, an entrepreneur, somebody who wants to be our guest, DM us. We would love to have you on, whether you're a restaurant or retail, an independent contractor. It does not have to be within our industry. This is real life. This is real growth.
Yes, and I'll just give a teaser. We have an awesome marketer, a social media guru who's going to come on. She agreed to be our first guest. So that's a teaser for all of you. Stay tuned. We'll definitely, make sure we put the word out ahead of time, and that's what you can look forward to in a future episode.
Awesome. So I am going to say goodbye to everybody. And I also want to say thank you guys for logging on with us. This is our first episode. We were very excited. We did not have a lot of experience, but just like Wendy said, we just wanted to go for it and be courageous and fearless. And that's why we're here today.
Love it. All right. Well, thanks, Ruth. Good luck ending the live. Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everyone.